Where were you born?
Okay, I was born in Garland, Alabama. That's where I was born.
Okay, and
But I grew up in Ohio.
how old were you when you moved to Ohio?
I was 5 years old when I moved to Ohio. My parents died.
Okay, and what was your home life like?
It was pretty nice. Grew up on a little small farm. Worked hard to plant a lot of produce and for the family to live on. It was tough. We wasn't a very wealthy family, poor family, but it was a good life. Everybody grew up in the same community. Most of them like the same, earned the same kind of living, working in the steel mill. So it was good. It was a good farm life, though. Good life.
Were you an only child?
Oh no, there was 10 of us. 5 brothers and 4 sisters.
Oh, wow, big house, big family. And what kind of? I'm sorry.
Huh?
I didn't want to cut you off. I thought you were done, sir. I'm sorry.
No.
What kind of kid were you?
Oh, I was a good kid. I was a hard worker. My mother taught me how to work at a very early age. I've always been a hard worker. I love the outdoors. I do like trapping and fishing and hunting. So I was a more outdoor person.
Mm-hmm. And who got you interested in boxing?
Well, at the age of 12, I knew I wanted to be an athlete. I thought it was going to be football. But at 22, a good friend of mine, Richard Austin from Youngstown, Ohio, after I go to the gym for his training, we were a few fighters. So he invited me over January 3rd, 1967. Put the gloves on for the first time. I did pretty good. I was a good puncher. I was strong. I did pretty well. The trainer said, you become champion of the world, make a lot of money. So I went home, talked to my wife. Then I begged her for a week. And she said, on the 10th, I don't care, go get your head knocked off. Go back on the 10th, started training. The trainer taught me how to get proper stance, taught me how to jab right hand. I do that. A good jab right hand. And took off from there.
Wow. I didn't know you were married already. How old were you when you got married?
I was 20 when I got married, 20.
Okay. And you got into boxing at 22, right? Is that right?
22, yes.
Mm-hmm. So you had no experience boxing as a child growing up?
No more so, just high school football and track. That's it.
Wow. And did you like boxing immediately? Were you good at it?
I liked it immediately. Yes, I did. Because the trainer told me, Ernie, you may become champion of the world, make a lot of money for your family. So I fell in love with boxing right away.
That's a good incentive, I guess, huh? And who did you want to be like? Did you see anyone that you felt you could be just as good as, or patting yourself after?
Well, the guys fight back then was like, well, I knew Joe Lewis, but we both from Alabama. And I kind of found myself looking at him, I thought. But I would probably have to say, of course, guy, I'm probably saying, listen, he was a big, strong, good puncher, devastating guy, so today one, I was a puncher, so I found myself after him.
Mm-hmm. And you had what was your amateur record? Do you remember the record?
I had about 25 fights. I think I won something like 18, 6 and 1, like that. I think something like that.
Did you have big time power in the amateurs too, or?
From day one.
Yeah.
First day in the gym, I heard a guy in the gym middleweight, but I knocked almost everybody out. I had about 27 fights from 18 knockouts, so that was pretty good, decent, yeah.
In 1968, you won the Cleveland Golden Gloves Novice Division. How'd that feel to win?
It felt great to win that. I won the Youngstown tournament with the Cleveland tournament, and went to the national AAU, made the quarterfinals, and came back next year and won everything.
Wow. And in 1969, you won the National AAU Heavyweight Championship.
Yes.
Did you?
Yes, I turned pro after that.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I turned pro November 6th,
So was your last championship the Golden Gloves of Cleveland? Was that your last?
Yes. 69, yes.
And you were ready to turn pro right after that, huh? Do you remember?
Well,
I'm sorry again.
yes, see, I was getting up in age. I was 24 years old. My trainer told me, Ernie, you can't play amateur forever. So he said, I think you turn pro now. And so I listened to him and turned pro.
Mm-hmm. And in your first pro fight, do you remember who you fought and what the result was and where it was?
It was a knockout. I know it was some guy that, I can't remember the name, that was in Akron, Ohio. I know it was a knockout.
Who didn't you knock out, right? And
yeah.
how did it feel to win your first pro fight?
That felt good. So my trainer said, Ernie, the guy that fights like you may become champion of the world someday.
Mm-hmm.
So I look forward to that because I know it can make a good piece of money, take good care of my family.
Mm-hmm. And you were kind of, since you didn't have so much amateur experience and you got in it so late, you were kind of learning on the job. And you ended up losing a few fights early, and some fights you...
Yeah. Well, I lost a few along the way, but I got all my experience as a pro.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it as an amateur. I got it as a pro. At my age, I couldn't play amateur long. I turned pro shortly after 2 years. I got my experience as a pro.
Mm-hmm. And you lost your third fight. Did you feel discouraged at all, or did you just know you were going to keep going?
No. I feel discouraged. I know I was a little guy. He boxed very well from Seattle, Washington. So I knew that we were going to lose some, win some. But I just worked hard, bucking out, worked hard. All the things like it discouraged me. It made me work harder. That's all.
Mm-hmm. And you fought Ron Stander early in your career. He's another pretty good prospect. How was it?
Yeah, I fought Ron. But I fought Ron Stander out in Omaha, and I think I got stopped, but I should have won the fight because I fought in his hometown. I think I was doing quite well, but when you fight in the hometown, you fight about to lose.
Mm-hmm. And then you went on a nice win streak, put some wins together, and you ended up winning the USA Nevada state title. How'd that feel to have your first title? How'd you feel after winning your first title?
I felt good. I know it was on the right road, the right track, and everything, so I felt pretty good.
And could you stop looking at the title the whole night, or how'd that feel the first night you had it?
Did I do what now?
Could you stop looking at your title when the night you won it, or did you just stare at it all night long?
Well, I looked at it for a while because it was a great conference. I looked at it for quite a while, yes.
And let's see, my computer just went down for a sec. Okay, and how did you feel the first time you fought at Madison Square Garden, the Mecca? Did it seem special back then to you?
Oh yeah, really, fighting in the garden, just your dream. It's fighting in Madison Square Garden. Coming up with everybody so much and other fighting there. And it was my dream to fight there. And I felt it was a great honor to be in the garden yet.
Mm-hmm. And you returned to the Garden and you knocked out Jimmy Ellis there. How'd you feel after getting the biggest win of your career at that point?
I felt great, but Jimmy was a former champ. And it was a great honor to fight a guy like Jimmy and knock him out in the first round. It was great.
How would you describe that fight? Were you nervous going into it?
I guess I was nervous because my first big fight breaking in big time, so I knew I had to win it to prove I could be a pretty good fighter. So Archie Moore trained me for the fight, and when I did, took him out of the first round.
Archie Moore trained you?
Archie Moore trained me, yes.
I didn't even know that. Tell me a little something about Archie. Like, what would he tell you? How was he?
Archie worked with me quite a bit. Archie trained me for about maybe 4 or 5 fights or so. But Archie gave me a lot of good advice. I take care of myself. I did. I'm a good health today. But Archie, Sugar Ray Robinson, and Rocky Marciano, all those guys gave me advice. I listened to it all and applied it to my life. It worked out perfectly.
And what was the advice that Rocky Marciano gave you? Could you share it, or is it?
He told me after each fight, I soak myself in a tub of Epsom vapor that pull the sores out of here. Take care of myself, eat the right food, get plenty of rest, drink lots of water, no drink, no drugs, no women. But not listen to them.
And did you actually spar with any of those guys? Did you spar with Archie Moore?
No, I never spar rock myself. He wanted me to turn pro for him. I was going to turn pro for him. But he died. He got a plane crash. He died. So I wanted to ask AU. He wanted me to turn pro. I met with him. I was going to turn pro for him. We had a plane crash and he got killed. On my birthday, August 31st, 1969, I think.
Sad day, huh? And that was a sad day in the sport.
It was a very sad day. He was a great guy. I really enjoyed meeting him. Mm-hmm. Great fighter, undefeated guy too. Great man.
How many rounds would that fight have went? Ernie Shavers versus Rocky Marciano.
In my prime?
Yeah.
Because Marciano, I was a great puncher. I mean, I can knock anybody. Anything I hit, I can knock out.
That's right.
I think if I had more experience, he came to me, I probably would knock him out because he come on, luck come to you. He wants 3 or 4 punches. No one take my punches.
No.
He would let you hit him 3 or 4 times to get a punch off. I think I would have stopped.
I don't think a horse could take your punch, Ernie.
No.
When you fought Jerry Quarry, what was that like? How's fighting Jerry Quarry like?
Well, Jerry was good, but I had a lot of problems. Don King and my Gennaro, I think, Dean Chance, they were arguing back and forth, trying to get me to take sides. Who wanted to be the manager? I'll be my manager. But my mind wasn't clear. I should have beat Jerry, but I didn't. But I'm still here. So I came out okay.
That's right. And I guess you're in better condition than he was in.
Well, Jerry was a great fighter, but I think he took too many punches over the years. It took a toll on him.
Yeah. Plus, he was abused by his father. Who knows what happened? Maybe he was beaten up since he was little. Terrible. Then a few fights later, you fight another big name in Ron Lyle. Another exciting fight. And you were both down in that fight. What do you remember about Ron Lyle in that fight?
Ron Lyle was a devastating puncher. I think I was chosen number 1, Joy Boy, number 2, Lyle, number 3. And I put him in Denver, and I had a little problem to get accustomed to the thin air there. But Lyle was a tremendous fighter. I can't say anything bad about Lyle. Tremendous puncher. When you play in the lion's den, you fight by the lose. I think I should have had him out. I was like, why the day back? I have it on DVD now. I had a long count, but he got up, he stopped me.
Mm-hmm. And you're one of the last guys to fight in Yankee Stadium. Did you feel different fighting in Yankee Stadium? Did it feel like a special place, or did it just feel like another place to fight?
Well, after a while you fight too. That's so many fights, they all seem the same. But the guard, my first part of the guard, it was very much about the guard. But I guess you can't. They're all special. They all have their own. I got members about all the places I fought in.
Mm-hmm. And let's see, 1977, you fight the greatest, and he was getting a little older, but he's still the greatest. What was that like? The build up with fighting Ali? How did Ali treat you and stuff?
Well, Ali been real good to me. Been my good friend. Him and Larry Holmes been my best 2 friends in the fight game. Ali let me use training camp while I fought Jimmy Ellis. He told me how to fight and everything. We fought with different style. What he said came out okay. But fighting Ali was when you fought him, you knew you did well. The whole war had their eyes on you at least 1 hour. That fight has changed my life even today. I got contract coming in now, unbelievable because of the Ali fight. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And did you let's see. So he didn't insult you. You were friends and stuff, right? There was no insulting.
We were good friends. Before I fought him, we were good friends. Mm-hmm. I had all these really good shots. Each round, I had some telling blows, and it took a toll over a long period of time. After the fight was over, took all about half hour to get out of the ring, so I did okay. Even though I didn't win the fight, I came out well.
And how did you feel the first time you hit him with something really nice? Do you remember how that felt?
Well, I know what. Yeah, all he kind of he faked like. I don't know if he was faking. He really hurt. I found that he was hurt. He shook his leg and that, but he actually was hurt. So at the time, I couldn't tell. You know.
Mm-hmm. And did you know Joe Frazier well?
I knew Joe quite well. Joe, I became friends over the years. But Joe never fight me. So you got too many fly off me. You punch too hard. But Joe for the same side of me coming to you. No one comes to a puncher and not get hurt.
Mm-hmm. And did you go to Joe's wake?
I know I didn't make it. I was in the wake. I didn't make the wake, no.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. Then you fight the #1 contender. Now he's your pretty good friend. Was he your friend back then too, Larry Holmes? Pretty good fighter.
Larry Holmes was a good friend. I knew Larry my first time in his sparring partner. He was 17 years old. I knew Larry would be champion of the world someday. He had a devastating jab, but Larry was very fast to move. He could fight pretty good. Larry was probably the most underrated fighter of all time. He was a great fighter. When I worked with Larry, I told Don King, this guy will be champion of the world someday.
Yeah. And you saw it in him, I guess, huh? I guess a great fighter recognizes another great fighter.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was because there was a great fighter. I was a great puncher, but Larry was a great fighter.
And Larry Holmes said that you hit him and it felt like a Mack truck. How's that feel to hear that?
Larry's a good guy. He's a real good guy. And he was, like they really underrated as a champ. But Larry and I are good friends. We both from the South. He's from Georgia, I'm from Alabama. We both moved north. I moved to Ohio, and he moved to Pennsylvania. Our parents did. We became very good friends very early. We're still good friends today.
Mm-hmm. And how come you hit so hard? What do you attribute that to? Like,
well, I grew up on a farm. Throwing bales of hay. I did a lot of chopping trees, but we had a big furnace to firewood. And that creates you back in the where the power come from. So that's why I punch so hard.
And that's what Joe Frazier said too. That's why he hit with that left hand so hard. It's that farm life.
Yeah.
It's tough living, huh? And
Yep.
let's see. Ken Norton. What do you have to? What's your memories about fighting Ken Norton?
Well, Ken was a good fighter. He's fought a friend of mine named Randy Stevens, and the Randy we grew up together, a young guy. And Ken knocked him out of the first round. I said, Randy, do you want me to get even with him? He said, yes. I saw I called Larry. Larry just fought Ken. Larry's Ernie, the guy's too tough for me. I never want to see him again. I said, Larry, you make Ken fight me before he fight you again, you'll never see him again. So Larry, he called Ken and said, Ken, do you want me to turn a match? He said, yes. He said, you got to be Shavers. He said, the phone went dead. I knew that Ken did not like punchers. Being a puncher like myself, I knew that I put spirit guard until that way.
Mm-hmm. And it was a short memory anyway, right? One round.
Yeah.
People didn't spend much time with you in the ring. They just got in, got out.
Huh?
People didn't spend too much time with you in the ring. They just got in and got out. They were just sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
my trainer told me, Ernie, if you fight go 1 round or go 10, it's the same money. I said, why go 10?
Yeah. Let's see. Then you fought Holmes again. Did Holmes improve after his first fight with you?
Oh, yeah. I fought Holmes with a title. Holmes had improved a lot. I hit Larry with a great right hand, but Larry said, Ernie, you had me out. Hit the floor, and the floor woke me up. Larry, I think you got a mad. But he said, Ernie, if you had not had me in a spot partner, I wouldn't have beat you. But I knew all you moved. And but I said, Larry, I need you this time. My friend Jimmy else, I need you. But, that's where it goes.
Yeah. Well, cookie crumbles. Let's see. Then you fought Tex Cobb. What do you remember about Tex Cobb and that chin? Did you hit him at all in that fight?
Yeah, well, I hit the tank 3 times, but see, I never knew who Tank was. And I figured that's another fighter. That's why I let away. He was a tough fighter. I didn't train the way I should have trained. I think I should have trained a little harder than what I did because I never heard the guy.
Yeah.
So I underestimated him, so I got to meet with him. But he's tough opponent.
He's like one of those guys that were born with like a extra thick skull, I think. He just, nothing hurt him.
Oh, yeah, guy, he gets sled, he hit him with a sledgehammer. I don't think it hurt. Probably hurt the sledgehammer. Tough man. Very tough man.
You said it. That's true. And Joe Bugner, what do you remember about Joe Bugner, the Byron Bleed?
Well, Joe, I know very little about Joe from England. I've seen him fight a time or so, but I feel that because the most guys from Europe straight up and down, fight. I feel I put the pressure on him, a couple of good shots, I take him out. I busted his eye open. I stopped it like second round, something like that. I stopped it.
Yeah, second round, and still had time to make him bleed. Who didn't make Joe Bugner bleed, right? Then you fought James Quick Tillis. He was a young up-and-coming fighter. What do you remember about Quick Tillis? Anything special?
Oh, yeah. James I kind of underestimated James. I think he was as fast as he was. A very good fighter, a good boxer. Underestimated. I took him lightly. And you find later you can't take anybody lightly in the fight game. Very, very competitive, tough guy.
Mm-hmm. And what's your proudest
very
moment?
good president. Huh?
I thought you were done again. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you.
That's it.
What's your proudest moment in boxing that you got out of it?
My prime moment has to be Ali, I guess, because when you fight a guy like Ali, the whole world has their eyes on you. Even though I lost the fight, it made a name for myself. I'm doing quite well today because of Ali fight. I did get a call from a big company, offered me 8 figures over the next 4 or 5 years because of Ali fight. So I love Ali dearly.
Mm-hmm.
He's been good to me.
Do you still stay in contact with Muhammad Ali?
I'm the only guy Ali works here every year. We do a show at Las Vegas. I just did one in at Las Vegas. Now I do a show in Arizona every year, raising money for charity. So Ali and I are very good friends. I'm the only fighter he uses it every year.
Wow, that's great. And who gave you the best advice during your career? Was it Archie Moore?
Who gave me best advice? I would have to say Sugar Ray Robinson, Archie Moore, because Archie Moore trained me. He told me how to take care of myself, how I should live, and he's Earnie. Most fighters after a victory go out and party. Don't go out and party. Take a week off, do nothing for a week. So I did it.
Mm-hmm. And who told you that? I didn't hear you.
Archie Moore.
Mm-hmm. And what was Sugar Ray Robinson like to meet? Was he?
Very, very nice guy. Sugar Ray told me if you fight Ali and do good, the older you get, more earning power. I'm earning more money now I ever earned with my name now. Sugar Ray said, if you fight Ali, keep the name clean, the older you get, more earning power you're going to have. That's what we're doing now, working for me.
Did you go to Sugar Ray Robinson's wake when he passed away?
No, I didn't go. I'm not I just don't like girls that well.
Yeah. I guess it's better when they're living, you know? And, it's better to spend time with them when they're alive anyway.
Yeah, yes. We got together. I spoke to a guy since that good time while he was living here.
Mm-hmm. And did you meet Joe Louis ever?
I met Joe Louis. Joe gave me a lot of advice. He had my DVD. I watched him today. He gave me some good advice. I met Joe several times. We both from Alabama. He moved to Detroit. We moved to Ohio.
Mm-hmm. You got so many amazing stories. It's like I don't know what to say next. I guess I'm done. It's like I didn't know that I was gonna hear so many other stories about other people and what they impacted on you.
Well, see, when you're a puncher, everybody want to meet you. I met most of all the top fighters, the old champ. I met them most of all. So everybody want to meet you. I'm not very big, but I'm a devastating puncher. They want to know how you learn to punch so hard. But on a farm, I did a lot of tree chopping. That was up to back in the day, that's where the power come from. That's where it came from. Growing bales of hay, pounding bags of wheat. That's what I did on the farm.
Sounds like what George.
Little did I know at the time, it would prepare me for my lifetime vocation.